The lodge was surrounded. I could hear the crunch of boots on gravel, the unsheathing of steel. There were at least 30 of them this time. Kaelen stood by the door, broadsword in hand, looking like a god of war. I stood in the center of the room, my glass dagger in hand, waiting. The door burst open. Men in the livery of the Iron Guard poured in. The captain, a man Kaelen had called a friend, sneered. "Sorry, Prince, the payout was just too high." Kaelen didn't waste words. He launched himself into the fray. The clash of steel was deafening. He was magnificent, a blur of lethal motion, but they were overwhelming him. "No," I screamed. The windows shattered inward. They didn't come in like heroes. They came in like a nightmare. Pixies with brass knuckles, trolls in tailored suits wielding lead pipes, and banshees wailing a discordant symphony that made the traitor guards drop their weapons to clutch their bleeding ears. In the center of it all, strolling through the chaos as if he were walking through a garden, was Don Oberon. "Evening," Oberon drawled. He pointed a finger at the traitorous captain. You're rude. We don't like rude." Oberon snapped his fingers. The shadows beneath the captain surged up, wrapping around him like a cocoon, silencing his screams as he was dragged down into the floorboards, disappearing into the void. The remaining guards panicked. They turned to run, but the boys were everywhere. It was a massacre, swift and professional. Within minutes, the room was silent, save for the heavy breathing of Kaelen and the straightening of lapels by the goblins. Kaelen lowered his sword, looking around the room in disbelief. He looked at Oberon, then at me. Oberon walked up to Kaelen, looking up at the towering prince. He dusted an imaginary speck of lint off Kaelen's bloodied armor. "You got guts, kid," Oberon said, his voice like gravel. "I like that. You treat her right, we won't have problems. You treat her wrong." He let the sentence hang, heavy with the threat of eternal torment. "Capus." Kaelen sheathed his sword, his eyes finding mine. "Capus." "Good." Oberon turned to me. "The car's waiting, or well, the carriage. Vinny fixed the wheel. We'll escort you the rest of the way to the capital. We need to have a little talk with your brother-in-law." The fairy mob melted away as quickly as they had arrived, dragging the bodies with them to dispose of in the Fae wilds. We were alone again. Kaelen walked to me, dropping his forehead against mine. He was shaking, the adrenaline crash hitting him. "You summoned the Fae court." "I called my godfather," I corrected. "You are terrifying," he whispered, a smile finally breaking through his stoicism. "And you are mine." "And you are mine," I replied. He kissed me, and this time there were no interruptions. He lifted me up, carrying me back to the bed. The danger had passed, leaving only the burning connection between us. "The contract said this was a political alliance," Kaelen murmured against my throat, his hands roaming over my body with possessive reverence. "Contracts can be amended," I gasped as he laid me down. "Then let's amend it," he growled, "to a love match." As the night deepened, protected by the shadows that watched from the trees, the Prince of Iron and the Princess of the Mob sealed their own pact, one of sweat, skin, and soul. My godfather might run the underworld, but Kaelen was learning to rule my heart, and with the mob behind us, the world didn't stand a chance.